What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Some commentary for you. You're actually looking at Madden gameplay here, slowed down, because I wanted to have a discussion with you guys based on some feedback you've given me. And I also wanted to show you how far I have to play a game to get to a point where I do a breakdown. So this game is going to stop right before I do the breakdown, and you'll see the breakdown later on the week. And I guess when people ask me the question that brought this video up, do you have faith in the Madden dev team? Do you have faith in Madden 19? I guess this is kind of the starting point of it. The starting point is yes, I have faith. Believe it or not, the most objective guy out here, I have faith that the developers and the directors can create the game that we want, if for nothing else because they have the budget, they have the means, they have the tools, and let's not forget they're paid to do a job. And just like everyone else in my life, I expect the people that are paid to do a job to deliver on that job. And if not, well, then as consumers, like myself, we get the opportunity to take that and criticize it. And that's really what this community is about. And maybe that's what I don't have faith in, the community. Because I've seen some really toxic things happen. Number one, I've seen people decide to close their channels, just totally get fed up with the game and walk away. I've also seen people that put the game down. And that's a shame because here we are, end of November, beginning of December, a time where people should embrace Madden. If your team is good, you should want to go play those playoff push games or simulate the playoffs with your team and see how things are going to pan out. Or if your team is bad, Madden should be an escape for you to go and have your team still win and kind of take away from kind of those horrible Sundays you've been experiencing. And to be quite honest with you, there's not a lot of people that subscribe to that. And the reason is the game has gotten, for the past many years, very stale and repetitive. And these are all things that as a community we've grown to discuss. But from my opinion, and again, that's all this is, my opinion, I've seen a trend in the community that troubles me a lot. It starts with the release of the game, the pre-release information, people, and it's not always the same people, that come out and promote the game or hype the game, if you will, and tell people, our prayers have been answered, we took all your feedback to EA, this is going to be the year, just you wait and see. The game releases, a couple weeks go by where people are satisfied, but then after that kind of new car smell, if you understand what I mean, after that wears off, and you're left with, there's still a lot of legacy issues, there's still a lot of things that aren't fixed, I still can't enjoy this mode or that mode because this problem and that problem is still there. Well, those people stop making those critique videos. They tell you things like, we don't know how hard it is to build a game. Or, things changed in the game, so you can't say that it didn't get better. Or it's not their fault, because they're not the ones writing the code. You don't know how short the dev cycle is. They can't control what the marketing department says. And to be quite frank with you, I don't care about any of that. Because none of that impacts the game that I play more than promises that aren't delivered on. And the other side of that is, as you can see here, it doesn't take you playing the game long to be confronted with the issues that are here. It ultimately comes down to as you wanting to actually speak about them openly and publicly. And somebody mentioned the other day that the Game Changer program should maybe rotate every 2 years. And I can't say that I don't disagree with that. Because I don't know that I have faith in the people that are leading that program to make simulation football as good as possible. And let me be as objective as possible when I say that in saying, I'm not the answer, I'm not the replacement, I don't want to be the replacement. Because the last thing I want to do is put myself in the box some of those individuals had. Where people come out and criticize you for not being honest, not speaking the truth, they trash your channel, and then when you do finally come out and say something critical, people automatically assume that it's just you appeasing them and making a half-hearted attempt to not look 100% biased. Who would welcome themselves to that type of community response? But in fairness, that's the response that those individuals have cultivated and garnered, and they don't transfer over to all the other communities, like Madden Ultimate Team, for example. But I do know there's a big disconnect somewhere. Because I'm sitting here, I'm playing the game, you can see less than half a quarter. And I'm finding issues to share with you guys. They're telling me that I must play the game hours upon hours upon hours a day to find these 1 in a million plays. Meanwhile, if you want me to be honest, the plays they choose to critique aren't even that in-depth or good examples of the gameplay being bad. And they have to essentially find filler for their channels to make up for the fact that they're not able to promote gameplay the way that they should. There's no excuse that we should not be talking about how simulation football is unparalleled by any other game than Madden. I should never be able to make a Bills video like I did where I can switch quarterbacks and have horrible game planning, horrible execution, and stats that just don't make sense. But that's where we are. You have to accept where we are to get to where we need to be. And I do know that going forward, these are going to be the most critical years of Madden because I firmly believe in my heart that people are going to walk away from this title completely. People are going to get tired of the broken promises, the broken game, and not subject themselves to it. And I also know by saying that, I admit that my own channel is going to suffer. My own numbers are going to suffer. My subscribers are going to suffer because I'm not given a fair opportunity in critiquing this game to be successful. Because the game in and of itself has so many problems, it limits the people that can be driven to my channel by wanting to see it. So I appreciate you guys checking this out. You should know the drill by now. I'll be back in the week with more content.